Welcome, dreamer. You're listening to Evernight Stories, a quiet place for gentle tales and peaceful dreams. Make yourself comfortable. It's time to rest. Before we begin, if these calm moments mean something to you, consider subscribing so the next story finds you easily. The evening air is cold tonight, the kind of cold that settles gently on your shoulders, and whispers of winter waiting just beyond the hills. You walk along a narrow path, lined with dry grass, your steps soft against the quiet earth. Above you, the sky has faded into a deep indigo blue, threaded with the thinnest silver clouds, drifting like slow breaths. Ahead, on a low hill, a small house waits. Old, wooden, weathered by years of wind and rain, yet glowing as though the night itself has chosen to rest inside it. Its windows shine with warm amber light, soft and steady, like candles held cupped in gentle hands. The glow spills onto the ground in slender golden shapes, stretching toward you as if inviting you closer. The house feels alive in a tender way, not speaking, not stirring, just watching with quiet warmth. You step toward it, and the wind shifts behind you, brushing your back as though encouraging you onward. When you reach the door, you notice a single candle placed in the window, its flame long and steady, rising and falling with a slow, calm rhythm. There is an old saying in this part of the countryside. Every year, as autumn ends, people light a candle in the house on the hill, and the house remembers every light ever placed within it. You push the door gently. It opens without a creak, as if expecting you. Warmth greets you immediately, not just heat, but a feeling, a hush, a soft welcome that wraps around your shoulders like a worn blanket. The air smells faintly of old wood, dried herbs, and the lingering comfort of many quiet evenings. Breathe with the warmth now, in and out, slow, soft, safe. You step inside. The house glows, and the night begins to remember you. The door closes behind you with a whisper, barely a sound at all, as though the house is careful not to disturb the calm you've carried here. The warmth settles around you immediately, gentle, steady, familiar in a way that makes your shoulders soften without effort. The air inside is thick with a quiet glow, as if the walls themselves remember how many nights have been softened by the same flickering light. You take a slow step forward. The wooden floor answers with a long, soft creak. Not a protest, but a greeting, a recognition. Another step, another creak, like a heartbeat echoing through old boards. The room stretches outward in a humble, comfortable way. Shelves line the walls, each one holding candles in every stage of their life. Tall candles, fresh and untouched, shorter ones with wax dripped in frozen rivers. Tiny stubs curled like memories preserved in soft gold. Brass lamps sit among them, glass chimneys fogged by age, their surfaces catching glimpses of the candlelight, like quiet, watching eyes. You move deeper into the room, breathing with the warmth. In and out, slow, warm, present. The light touches everything. It spills across a wooden table scarred with years of use. It clings gently to a quilt folded over the back of a chair. It nestles into corners where shadows sit patiently, soft and unthreatening. On a nearby shelf, you notice a few small objects: a chipped teacup, a pine cone smoothed by many hands, a stack of yellowed letters tied with twine. None of them are illuminated by bright beams. Instead, each holds a small glow, as though the candlelight recognizes them, remembers their stories, and keeps them warm. You lift your hand and hover it near a candle, not to touch, just to feel its heat. The flame bends slightly toward you, stretching its golden shape as though acknowledging your presence. It steadies again, flickering in a slow, breathing rhythm that guides your own. In and out, steady, deeper, ease. You wander toward the window where a single candle burns by itself, separate from the others. It's taller, thinner, with wax running in delicate lines down its side. A candle that looks as though it has been burning for a long time. The flame sways lightly, casting quiet shadows across the wall. Outside the glass, the world is a deep blue blur. The faint outline of trees, the ripple of wind crossing fallen leaves, the long shape of the hill fading into the night. But the candle's reflection on the window is clear, bright, unwavering. Its glow seems to travel through the pane, stretching outward as if trying to touch the darkness beyond. A thought rises within you, gentle, unforced. The candle is remembering something, not in words, not in images, just in warmth. You place your hand lightly on the windowsill. The wood is smooth with age, worn down by years of elbows leaning, fingers tracing, hands resting after long days. You imagine all the people who must have stood exactly where you stand now, gazing out into the night, their faces lit by the same soft flame. You do not see them, yet you feel them, in the temperature of the room, in the hush that moves through the air, in in the stillness that deepens around your breath. Every candle here seems to carry a trace of someone, not a face, not a voice, only the warmth they left behind. You turn back toward the shelves. The flame light dances in slow arcs along the brass and glass, revealing subtle shapes in the shadows. The curve of a hand resting on a stack of books, the outline of a chair drawn slightly back from the table, the impression of someone lingering just long enough to leave a memory in the wood grain. These shapes are not ghosts. They are gestures, feelings, echoes of evenings filled with quiet companionship. The house does not keep them out of longing. It simply remembers warmth the way your skin remembers sunlight. You exhale softly, in and out. Let the warmth settle. Let the light gather. The candle near the window flickers again, brighter this time. The flame leans forward, then settles in a slow, knowing bend, as if bowing to a memory or greeting a new one. You watch it for a long moment, the way it moves, the way it breathes, the way it seems to glow with recognition. Something is stirring in this room, not a presence approaching, but a memory awakening. Something gentle, something warm. And as you stand there, wrapped in the soft hush of the house, you begin to sense the first tremor of it, a shift in the light, a ripple through the air, the beginning of a quiet story rising from deep within the flame. The house remembers, and now it remembers you too. The air in the room seems to thicken, not heavy, but full, as though the warmth itself is gathering in the corners, preparing to speak without words. The candle near the window flickers once more, a deeper movement than before, its flame stretching tall before returning to its steady glow. You sense something shifting around you, a quiet awakening woven through the light. You take a slow step back, giving the room space. The floor creaks gently beneath your heel, an old, comforting sound, like a sigh that has lived here for decades. Breathe with the house, in and out, soft, receptive. The candlelight begins to shimmer along the walls. Not bright flashes, not sudden changes, only a subtle thickening of glow, as if the light is remembering how to move, how to become something more than illumination. The shadows soften, melting into velvet shapes that curve and breathe. At first, it looks like nothing more than light finding new angles. Then, slowly, faint impressions take form. A hand resting lightly on the back of a chair. A pair of shoulders leaning toward the fire. Two figures sitting close, their outlines warm and gentle. Nothing is detailed, nothing sharp, only silhouettes woven from candle warmth, like memories made of glow. You don't feel startled, you feel welcomed. These are not ghosts, not spirits, not anything that intrudes. They are simply what light remembers. You stand completely still, allowing the impressions to shift and flow. The figures drift deeper into the room, becoming softer, then brighter again, as if the memories move with their own quiet breath. A silhouette bends toward a shelf. Another turns toward the window. A third seems to rest a hand atop the table where you stood moments ago. You breathe in slowly, in and out, steady, safe. A warmth expands in your chest, not heat, but emotion. You can feel what these shapes once carried. A moment of laughter just before a candle was lit. A quiet conversation whispered over warm mugs. Someone waiting by the window for a loved one to return. Someone else folding a blanket while the first snow fell outside. The house is not showing you their faces. It is showing you their warmth. And warmth is enough. The candlelight moves again, drifting upward this time. It reflects briefly in the glass of a framed picture on the wall, flipping the shadow into a new shape. A soft murmur fills the air, not a voice, more like the distant echo of people sharing a room, a comfort of presence rather than sound. You do not understand every story. You do not need to. The house is offering you the feeling of them, the gratitude left behind, the quiet evenings folded into the wood, the memories pressed like fingerprints beneath layers of varnish. You inhale, and the warmth settles deeper, in and out, peaceful, open. As your breath calms, the silhouettes begin to shift toward the hearth. The candles on the mantel flicker light upward, revealing faint motions that feel like gestures of thanks. A hand resting over a heart, a slow nod, the quiet bow of someone sitting in reflection. The air hums softly. It feels alive, gently, kindly, as if woven from all the moments of love and memory that passed through this house. You step closer to the hearth. A single candle there seems to shine brighter than the others, its flame bending toward you in a slow, graceful arc. When you kneel beside it, the flicker seems to draw forward, illuminating the stones around it with a richer, deeper gold. In that glow, the impressions soften again, blending back into light. not disappearing, simply resting. The warmth that fills the room now feels different, less like presence, more like recognition. You sense something wordless in the air, a message carried not through sound, but through glow. You are part of this warmth now. Your presence is understood. Your light is welcome here. You place your hand on the cool stone beside the hearth. It warms beneath your touch, slowly, as though the house is answering. Breathe with that warmth, in and out, gentle, steady. The silhouettes dissolve completely, their edges melted into the candlelight, but the emotion they carried remains suspended in the room, woven into its quiet, glowing breath. The house has shared its memories with you, not to burden you, not to overwhelm you, but to let you feel the lineage of light it carries. The candles brighten once more, as though nodding in acknowledgement. The windows glow a deeper amber. The air settles into its soft, rhythmic hush. And just as you begin to rise, a tiny flicker near the mantel answers. A small flame bending toward you in a gesture, almost like gratitude. The house remembers every light, and now it remembers yours too. The room feels different now, not brighter, not louder, but fuller. The air is warm with the softness of memory, the hush of long-kept stories woven deep into the beams and stone. You rise slowly, your hand still resting lightly on the cool hearth ledge. The warmth of nearby candles brushes the side of your face, a tender reminder that you are not just a visitor here. You are part of the moment the house is making. Breathe with the warmth, in and out. Slow, complete. The hearth itself is simple, a frame of smooth river stones built long ago by hands that worked with patience. Some stones are darker, polished by firelight over generations. Others are pale, flecked with tiny crystals that catch the glow like frozen sparks. A few dried herbs hang from twine overhead. Lavender, sage, and a single sprig of rosemary, their scents subtle but grounding. On the mantel rests a row of candles, each one different from the others. Some tall, some short, some with wax pooled at their bases, some shaped by hands that likely trembled a little when they were set down. They burn quietly, their flames rising and falling in slow unity, as though breathing a single, patient breath. One candle near the center stands out. A small brass holder, polished by time. Its wick is unlit, waiting. You reach for it gently. The brass feels cool against your fingertips, with a weight that suggests age and care. It rests easily in your hands, as if expecting to be lifted again after many quiet nights of waiting. The unlit wick bends slightly when you breathe on it, as though acknowledging your presence. A single flame on the mantle leans toward you, steady, offering. Bring the wick close, watching as the flame stretches, touches, and finally catches. A tiny spark blooms, then grows into a warm, steady glow. The room brightens just a fraction, a soft golden breath expanding outward from your hands. The house exhales with it. Or perhaps you do. You place the lit candle on the hearth ledge. Its new light joins the others, not competing, not overshadowed, simply becoming part of the soft constellation of glow. The surrounding candles respond with a faint shimmer, their flames bending slightly toward yours, like companions leaning closer to greet a friend. You feel something widening inside you, a gentle lifting in your chest, a warmth that is not from fire, but from the simple act of placing light where darkness once rested. Gratitude moves slowly through you, not sharp, not loud, a quiet fullness, like water rising peacefully in a still basin. You let yourself breathe with it, in and out, deeper now, softer. The house seems to listen. The wooden beams above creak lightly, shifting their weight. The window pane trembles with a small sigh of wind. The flame on the candle you lit steadies, finding its rhythm among the others. As you watch the candles glow, the room begins to reflect their light in subtle ways. Shadows play gently along the stone wall, moving in soft arcs that feel like gestures of acknowledgement. The gleam on the brass holder intensifies, then softens again. The old quilt in the corner picks up a faint shimmer, as though remembering the warmth of bodies that once rested beneath it. You close your eyes, letting all of it settle, the light, the warmth, the quiet union of memory and presence, in and out, safe and steady. A thought comes to you, unhurried, completely welcome. Gratitude is not something you do. It is something you feel, something you let yourself notice. You notice it now, in the candle you lit, in the warmth surrounding you, in the gentle ache of a moment so peaceful, it feels like a gift. The house seems to agree. Another breeze slips under the door, brushing the flames without dimming them. They sway, then return to stillness, as if bowing in a quiet ritual. The candle you lit gives a single bright flutter, as though offering thanks. You step back, giving the light room to breathe. The hearth glows like a small sunrise inside the night, each candle a memory, a blessing, a presence that neither fades nor demands. Your candle belongs there now. Its light curls upward, joining the slow dance of warmth the house has kept for countless seasons. You feel your chest loosen, your mind soften. A sense of belonging settles against your ribs, gentle, humble, deeply soothing. The house remembers every light, and now in this moment of stillness, it gathers yours into its long, glowing memory. You rest your hand on the mantle once more. The warmth there is different now, a little deeper, a little fuller, a little more yours. Breathe with the house, in and out, quiet, grateful, at peace. The candle you lit burns softly beside the others, its flame reflected in the glass of the window, shining like a small star that has finally found its place. And as the room quiets into deeper calm, you feel yourself folding into that peace, a gentle ember in a house filled with remembered light. The candles burn lower now, their flames softened to gentle golden pinpoints. The air has grown still, holding warmth, the way hands hold something precious. Around the hearth, the glow settles into a steady breath, slow, even, calm, as though the house itself is resting with you. The candle you lit has become part of this quiet constellation. Its flame sways once, then steadies, shining with the same soft confidence as those that have burned here before. It is small, but its presence feels complete. You take a slow breath, in and out, peaceful, warm. The room grows dimmer as the candles shorten, yet the darkness that gathers is not cold. It feels like a blanket being drawn over tired shoulders, like the gentle closing of a door after a long day. Shadows fold into soft shapes along the walls, embracing the room with a deep, velvety hush. The memories you felt earlier fade into stillness, not disappearing, just settling. They have shared their warmth, and now they rest. You sit for a moment longer, letting the hush seep into every part of you. Your fingers, your chest, the back of your mind. The house feels safe, old in the most comforting way, like a place that has always known how to hold a quiet night gently. The candle you lit flickers again, a tiny, grateful bow. Its light mingles with the others, becoming part of the home's long memory. You rise slowly. The floor beneath you creaks once, a soft farewell. The warmth stays, There is nothing left to do now, nothing left to hold, only rest. Breathe with the night, in and out, soft, steady, safe. Your light is part of this home now, and the night holds you tenderly.